Here is a really easy and fun way to turn a plain boring nightstand into something personal that you will love. So first you want to clean it and give a scuff sand, and then you want to use a primer if needed. I'm choosing to use this primer, which is an all-in-one primer called Bonding Boss. I apply 2 thin coats and let it dry overnight. While it's drying, I'm using a product called Big Mama's Butter, and I always apply it to all my furniture pieces. It refreshes and rejuvenates and seals, and it helps the drawers open and close really well. So I'm just taking this time to use that butter on the furniture rails like you see here and on the drawers. Okay, I know I want to use parts of this transfer. It is so soft and pretty. So I decided these colors would complement it really well. So we're going to do a quick blend. There are many different ways to blend your chalk paint. I'm doing an old world smoky blend, something really soft. So I picked 3 colors that I knew would work well together, and I applied the darker color, then the medium color, and I'm going to go in with the lightest color in between. Then I'm going to take a mister bottle and mist it with some water as needed, right there, and I'm taking a nice dense brush to blend it. So I'm going to be using the same brush for this blend. You can use separate brushes to blend the dark to the light and the light to the medium, but the look I'm going for, I knew it would work just fine with this. You just want to make sure to offload your blending brush onto a clean paper towel or a microfiber as needed. I do paint in thin coats, so even though this is still my first coat, I am applying a little bit more paint on. This paint dries fast, so I work in smaller sections. I'll show you better here in a minute what I mean by that. All I'm doing is swirling my brush around, back and forth, up and down in a circular motion. This will give you that old world, smoky, dreamy type of blend. Okay, so this is what I mean. So for example, here on the front, I'm blending one drawer at a time. So I just want to work on that one area at a time to get the blend how I want it. Now remember, it is going to take you 2 coats to get a nice coverage on your furniture. So if you do not love your color placement on your first coat, don't worry. It'll blend beautifully right over it, and you can get it just how you want. I'm actually going to end up putting some furniture transfer pieces over this blend, but it's always a great opportunity to practice your blending or change your mind if you want to. Okay, so next up, I'm going to use some pieces of this furniture transfer. And there are several different ways you can apply it to drawer insets. You can cut it out exactly. You can measure it, draw it out, cut it exactly. Or you can kind of do what I'm doing here. And I cut it basically to size, knowing there's some overlap. And I'm just concentrating my burnishing tool just where I want the transfer to adhere to. You can also tape off the area. However, just be careful that you have let your paint and sealer dry adequately before you do so. I like to wait 2 days. This was overnight, so I didn't want to tape it off. I did seal it. I did already seal this piece. I'm going to show you another little trick here in a minute that I learned from somebody else. Okay, so now I'm just cutting it to fit, and you can just match it up and it is seamless. This was just easier to maneuver, so I cut it in half. But I am going to show you that trick here. It's coming up in just a minute. So I did speed this up, and it is without cuts, so you can see that it really is easy to apply. I really love the colors of this transfer and how it works so well with this paint blend. Again, I didn't cut it, so it's just sped up, so you can see how it really is an easy process. Okay, so I do have a little bit of overhang, and this is that little trick that I learned from somebody else. I'm going to take some of that transfer backing paper. I'm placing it underneath that transfer where I don't want it. And now I'm going to burnish it onto the transfer paper so it doesn't get on the furniture where I don't want it. There's nothing you can do that you can't fix, so don't worry. Just get started. Once I tidied that all up, I will seal it again. I will seal over the transfer. So see how I'm just applying the transfer where I want it, and I'm pulling off the rest. It is kind of sticky, so it will get on your fingers, but I'd rather it there than on the furniture where I don't want it. I have a lot of the transfer left over, so I decided to give a little peekaboo on the drawer sides. So I'm just doing the same thing. I'm just applying a little bit. I'm going to use some gilding wax to add just a pretty little detail. I'll also apply it to the drawer top and to underneath the drawer. It's just going to help that drawer open up that much easier. And it gives a really pretty metallic little glow. I did seal this part of the transfer with wax and not with clear coat. I do tend to like to use wax as a sealer over the interior of drawers. Okay, so the hardware was also given a new look with the silver gilding wax. And now I'm just touching up any areas. I kind of felt like I needed to frame out the transfer just to help it stand out a little bit more. And now I'm going to go in with some pearlescent glaze. Since this transfer is sealed with satin top coat, I'm going to go over it with the pearlescent glaze. I'm just gently brushing it on with the synthetic brush, and then I'm going to come in with a little mist of water to help move it and keep it from drying too fast. And I'll use a little towel to kind of smooth it out. I ended up using the glaze over the entire piece because the shimmer was just too pretty. It's like a little translucent pearly finish. Just like with blending, I also like to use smaller areas to glaze. Like I'm going to work in sections is what I mean. So I'm going to work in little sections to glaze a little bit at a time. I do tend to use a little bit of water with my glaze just to keep it from drying and to keep it moving. So I'm just going to apply it, give a little bit of water, and then in one direction, use a microfiber. And just continue on. I really love the shimmer that it added. And we're almost done, so I'm about to show you some after photos. And you can see how easy it is to make over your own nightstand. There's that little peekaboo on each side. She's pretty. Hope you'll follow me for some more.